Never Warmothers, never win. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I have drawn really poorly with this deck in this tournament so far. We've played it, what, 3 times and bricked out every time. That was the one game we actually had Trundle, but we didn't have ramp, and we didn't draw Warmothers either. We drew like ramp tools right after the cutoff window for them. And it is a fundamental flaw of the deck that it is like susceptible to just drawing a little too bad sometimes. So you need to keep Avalanche in this matchup. I think I can double keep Catalyst because I already have the Avalanche actually. Depending on his hand, sometimes like Warmotherings early is kind of good. Swing TF is a weird deck because sometimes they can have these very aggressive hands that we do need Avalanche for, and sometimes there's... This is kind of the dream hand because between Avalanche and Vile Feast, we're not really losing to like aggro states, and double Catalyst War Mommies feels pretty good against other things as well. So he should always pass here. I mean, getting him to skip his attack is pretty fine. I'm not really in a hurry to Catalyst, right? So it's like, I think his pass is a little weird. Like because I don't have, like, okay, if I had Trundle or even Hearthguard in hand right now, I might not be able to pass here, but I'm really not in a hurry at all to start my Catalysting. If I can like skip his entire attack, that's definitely worth in this case. I think we just keep passing, honestly. Force him to make the first play. Because we're actually, and I know it's weird because, you know, the how it should be is you want to just like Catalyst as early as possible, but we just want to thwart the aggression, and because we don't have the 5 mana units in our hands, we don't really get anything out of Catalysting on 3. We'll still Catalyst before the call, and that'll still matter. So deckhand could be. And deckhand, I mean, if we want to, we can start like Vile Feasting. Kind of don't want to. Ooh, hello. So because we have Troll Chance, we're pretty safe to play out our Trundle here. The only question is, I mean, does he just like kill a Trundle for value? How passable is this spot? I don't actually really want to give him anything here though. I honestly want to just like, I just want him to attack me and to Catalyst. I don't really care about anything other than Catalyst. That guy might actually just open with a Vile Feast. Getting to Catalyst after the attack is really nice. I mean, if he's skipping his attack, that works for me. We can Warmothers when we're at 9. His progresses are really bad. We can't play Trundle here because it'll just die to Flock in this case without enough mana open. If we pass and he passes back, I mean, the only question is who's more comfortable in the late game. I think the way that this game is playing out and the way he, like, his hand is so aggressive. Like, he's not gonna have a ton of actual good late game resources. Like, on that aggressive hand, if he's not doing anything with these aggressive cards, we have the advantage. So I think I'm actually perfectly fine if it's a pass trade here. And he knows my card is Catalyst, basically 100%. Okay, and we drew an interesting out, because if he doesn't kill the Wording Stones, then that allows us to Warmothers next turn. A very interesting card indeed. The only problem is he will kill the Wording Stones, and we don't have enough mana for Chant to protect it. Looks like we're just Trundling here. That's interesting. Because Trundle's actually a lot harder for him to kill. Stun and double Flock. But he doesn't have Swain on board. If he had Swain on board, I would play around something like Stun double Flock. This is a super weird game. You'll fight or you'll swim. I think we're just chilling. Like, we're bricking his removal tools, and we're bricking his aggro tools, which means the only thing that matters here are his basically, like, game enders. Literally, and that deck doesn't run a lot of those. So now he has to take his first attack of the game. That feels pretty good. If he goes in to kill my Trundle, I really don't want that here. So Trundle has... how much health this turn? We can double Catalyst and heal up. Trundle gets damaged. We've got single chance, but not if we're double casting. We're single Catalyst, single chance. Yeah. We need to save maximum health here, I think. I think this is okay. Let's just go ahead and do this. Save a bit more. No reason to kill his 1/1. It's really, really trolling to not just save maximum damage here. Because that's the only way he wins. So now any ramp card gives me the Warmothers next turn. He might move in to kill the Weirding Stones, which would actually be pretty nice. Nah, it's just trolly. I'm just gonna Catalyst. This is a super obvious play. I have to bank full. And we can still make his flock a little bit awkward if we want to like Troll Chant here. Should just stay alive to something else. I think I have to be okay letting my Trundle die in this case. I'm probably getting another one off of some of the Warmothers calls anyway, right? So that should be fine. And Weirding Stones is likewise trolly here. So the only play is to basically just full float, right? I mean, I can Troll Chant. You know what? Troll Chant might force him into doing something awkward, actually. It's fine. It's like sometimes he has to do something he really doesn't want to now kill this Trundle. Sometimes it's just to make it rain, but there's actually a chance this is awkward for him. And you know what? Troll Chant's not going to do a ton here, so that's worth taking that chance. I'm not doing anything with the mana this turn anyway. It's like, if he has to waste a Death Sand or a Fervor, I feel fine. If it's a Make It Rain, then that's a bit awkward, but whatever.
I'm always up for a round or two.
TF's interesting. Yeah, that works.
Who says I don't share?
I just want to get my call down, honestly. I don't really care too much about anything else here. Anyways, Ice Pillar first, I guess. Yeah, we're literally forced into Ice Pilling first. It's not really getting punished by anything. Seems fine.
My blade grows restless.
So there's a Tryndamere. Honestly, we could double call. So usually at this point we have to think like, what are the scariest things? Honestly, flipping Twisted Fate is actually pretty scary. There's stuff like Leviathan. Obviously, usually you expect him on turn 8. He could be inclined to do some weird Rex thing, but he doesn't run main deck Warning Shot, so that would be a little tricky. No reason why Tryndamere wouldn't have an attack here. I'm just pushing forward a lot of damage. So yeah, at this point, we're just making sure we survive the long game, but because we have Vengeance to deal with Leviathan, we're pretty much just fine. Hitting the Trundle off of it was probably best here. This deck is weird to play. I think it's a surprisingly difficult deck to play. It looks really easy. I don't know, I think a lot of people misunderstand this deck. It's a deck that just plays for like completely separate big win conditions that you just have to build entirely towards. I mean, honestly, he can't really punish me for blocking this boy, right? Yeah, this looks fine. What's he gonna do? Okay, cool. ITF. Go ahead and level my Trundle. This puts him outside of flock range. And then he'll play Swain and we'll Vengeance Leviathan and swing our dick. It's that easy. Pretty much nothing else happens here, I think. I mean, he's kind of forced into playing Swain. I'm never tapping under Vengeance until he presses the Swain button. But we've got a lot of, like, nice tools here. It's like, Catalyst is honestly, it's a bad card in general in the late game, but it plays around our lose condition in this hand. It's a nice safety card, because our lose condition is running out of health, basically. Wowza. Huh, that's interesting. That's kind of a sick play. I'm pretty much forced to Vengeance that now, which means like double Leviathan hands. He could actually stick a Leviathan Swain, but not before my next attack. So yeah, I'll just Vengeance this now. Cool. And that's no problem. Get no value out of Weirding Stones here, of course. Yeah, none whatsoever.
Our strength is yours. Fire!
And I think we're casual like 100% of the time open attacking here.
Death itself can't stop me.
Yeah, it seems pretty free.
Get ready for a beatdown.
It was probably safer to go for the Leviathan. That was another, like, I don't know. I'm definitely, you guys might notice, if you watch me play in tournaments before, and if you watch me play in this tournament, you'll notice I'm doing something, which is I'm actually, like, making a lot of plays faster than I normally do. Which is because when games go long like this, I get kind of like I don't want to make everyone wait for me. So I'll make some plays that are less thorough than I should. It's sloppy. It's bad. I shouldn't be doing it. So that game looked really, really weird. I think the way we play that game was really important. I will maybe go through. I don't think I played it perfectly. There might have been one spot where I was supposed to catalyst earlier. I'm gonna go through and do like a VOD review of that one. That I can't do it right now because my next game's starting. But that last game, my Warmothers against like Swain TF, was really, really important game to break down. And I think understanding how that, I think a lot of people misidentify what Warmothers even is as a deck. I think people misunderstand the deck. As I've said, the deck, at least in my mind, wants to basically just have a lot of hard counters to varying strategies, which is part of the reason why I should run Flash Freeze, because Flash Freeze fits that build very well. But like the core of the deck is like, okay, you've got Weirding Stones, Catalyst, Trundle, and Warmothers, right? That's like the core concept of the deck. Because, you know, you've got ramp, you want to play Trundle on 4, and you want to give yourself the ability to play Warmothers a little bit earlier. And the idea ends up being that you just have a small handful of cards that are just kind of like auto win conditions. It seems and that's gonna make the build of the deck look super strange, and the way you play certain games look super strange. Like we had to not play Catalyst early that game because of how his hand was and what our lose condition was that game, right? It is a draw dependent deck, but I think it's much more versatile than people give it credit for.